Wow. Hi, my name is Sarah Karinge. I am the CEO, Global Networks Investment, where we train and consult on business networking. We also connect brands for business. And tonight, or this morning, or be it afternoon, wherever you are very welcome to our topic for today, which is how to convert social media followers to customers. And we are really privileged to have my very good consultant by the name of CK Mwaniki, who is a communications consultant. And with that, I would like to ask him to introduce himself as we go ahead with this topic. Welcome, Mr. Kagwanja.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was a wonderful introduction. I am really excited to be here today and to share some insights in regards to the topic that you just introduced. So as you said, my name is Mwaniki Kagwanja. I am a digital marketer as well as a communication consultant. I run a company by the name CK Group, where we offer digital marketing solutions and also communication solutions. And I'm also the co-founder of Virtual Assistant Africa. And this is an organization that basically helps people. It equips individuals with knowledge and skills to be able to work virtually. And the organization is not very old, by the way, Sarah. It should be now 3 or 4 months. But the reason why I am so excited with this organization is because we are now looking at the bigger picture. And in our context, the bigger picture is to be able to deal with the problem of unemployment in Africa, where we are telling the young people, if you can't find a job out there, you can actually find very good opportunities online to work. The challenge has been for many people that they don't know how to navigate that online space. So when you come to Virtual Assistant Africa, we are able to equip you with the skills and knowledge of how to navigate that space and be able to work and find a job online. I hope I've not said so much in the introduction.
That was awesome. I'm so encouraged that Mwaniki, you started a while back and we are doing quite well. And I'm glad to say that Mwaniki has really worked with Global Networks Investment and he has helped us to grow as a company. Now, let us just go straight to the questions that I have prepared for you so that people, our fans can, of course, learn from you. Now, I'll go to the first question. Who is a social media fan? And is there a difference between a fan and a follower?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. I will put it this way. Number one, I will start by saying that these terms are usually used interchangeably. So in certain contexts, you find people saying a social media fan. In other contexts, you hear people say social media follower. So it depends with the context really, but for the purpose of this conversation, let's talk about followers. So a social media follower is basically someone who is a supporter of your brand. And they demonstrate this support by way of following your page, liking your page, connecting with you on whichever social media platform, and they are constantly engaging you. These ones can be defined as followers. But let me add quickly that we can categorize followers further. We can break it down further by saying that we have those followers who I can call them charismatic followers. And these are very active guys. I know somewhere you know of people, maybe you follow some people online, and sometimes they'll just post a word. But the reaction, you wonder, I mean, it was just a word. Why are people reacting so much to this particular thing? And sometimes you have this person who is constantly producing very quality content, but very little reaction. Even maybe yourself. Sometimes you post something, this one is going to generate a lot of reaction, but there's nothing that comes out of it. But that aside, basically we have these two categories. We have this charismatic follower, and then we have those people we call silent followers. So these are guys who are just always checking out your content, reading, but hardly comment or share or like your content on social media. But something interesting, you may be very surprised that these people we are calling silent followers are actually people that can easily be converted to buyers.
Wow.
I am sure one of the silent followers at one point in time, they have reached out to your inbox,
Yes.
or whichever way, and they actually ended up buying or expressed serious interest in buying from you. So we can't rule out and say the silent followers are just silent followers and I don't like them. A follower is just a follower. The thing that the brand needs to do is to find an approach whereby at the end of the day, it is able to engage all these constituents or followers or categories of followers, as I've just said. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. And if I may ask, just drift you a little bit, Mwaniki, how many social media platforms do you have today?
Wow. Let me just list them. We have Facebook, we have Twitter. These ones are from back then. We have, and we used to have MySpace, by the way. I don't know if you know about MySpace.
Yeah, I've heard
and
about
MySpace
it.
was really around, I think, 2003, 2004. In fact, nobody ever imagined that Facebook was going to phase out MySpace at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, Facebook, Twitter, we have LinkedIn, we have Pinterest, we have another one is called Reddit, we have Instagram, we have Snapchat, and the list is always growing. I mean, many players are coming into this space because they have discovered that the world is moving in the digital platform. A lot of engagement is happening on the digital platforms, the social media platforms to be specific. Business is happening on this platform. So everybody wants a piece of cake. That is why continually you see new technology. And I'm sure there are many others out there that we don't even. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much, because I actually agree with you, because I realize that there are some social media platforms that are very popular, maybe depending with age or depending with maybe just depending on how each person maybe feels. There are those who connect on Instagram in a better way, others will connect on Facebook. So either way, I think it's for up to us now to know, of course, the kind of social media we need to use now. I would like to go to the next question, and thank you very much because you have answered it very well. Now, does having many followers on social media mean anything to a brand?
I really love your questions. That's also a very interesting one. You see, me, what I say, the more the merrier. The more followers you have, the better. Because more followers, in a sense, means that you have a broader captive market or a wider captive market for what you're offering, a product or a service.
Mm-hmm.
But let me quickly add that in other contexts, actually, the more followers are good for you. And I'll speak specifically to social media influencers. As an influencer, if you're a personal brand, one of your bargaining powers, when you go to that negotiation table and there's this corporate that wants to give you a deal, one of the things they would like to find out is how many followers do you have. And that is why you find that some of these influencers are crazy on followership. Wow. That I have to build my followership base to the extent that when I approach a corporate for advertising, I can tell them I have, for instance, 200,000 people following me. Mm-hmm. So I am telling them, if you place an ad on my platform, then it has the potential of reaching out to 100,000 plus people. Mm-hmm. So in the case of influencers, I believe that followership is really, really critical. But then again, on the flip side, you also need to have the conversation about quality versus quantity. Because again, you also want to have, especially for the corporate brands, you want to have people who are quality. And quality in this case, I mean that people who are really interested in your brand, really interested in the conversation that you're having online, and people who are really interested, then they can be easily converted to be paying customers eventually. So you want to look at that at that balance. I am not saying it's bad to have many people. It works for you. In fact, sometimes when you go to a page and you see, these people have like 300 followers, 300,000 followers, it's sort of a confidence booster. You have a bit of more trust because since they're being followed by very many people, then these are credible guys. So it is just, we look at both perspectives. There's the question of quality versus quantity, but also if you can have more people, that is okay.
Wow, thank you very much, Mwaniki. And I think I can also say that recently we have really been so much on social media, and in one of our businesses, which is Sama Enterprises Limited, and one of my co-directors by the name of Susan Karinge, who is quite young, she's my daughter, has gone full throttle on social media. And what I have seen, especially on Facebook, we have many people who are there asking questions. And because, of course, our website is already connected to Facebook and other social media platforms, there are some who are making inquiries and converting to customers. So quality customers are very important, and we should never assume, because even those whom we call, we think are not quality customers, they will see something and then they can lead your customers to yourself. So I think that one is quite good. So that's why I'll also go for social media and say, if you're not on social media, then today, I don't know where you are. Now, I'll go to the next question, which is also quite interesting. Now, can you, Mr. Mwaniki, now tell us what tactics and strategies do you use to convert followers to customers? The strategies.
I like that. I like that very much. So you see, number one, I must say that social media, as we know it, is largely driven by content. It's largely driven by content. You are not relevant as a brand on social media if you're not producing and publishing content that is relevant, that is valuable, that is relatable to your audience. So one of the tactics that you need to use is actually to craft or come up with a well thought out content strategy. I tell people every time that the reason why we talk about a content strategy is because you need to approach social media from the perspective that this thing needs to benefit my business. It should actually work for me. And anything that you want to work for you, you have to put a plan down. And Sarah, you know that. I mean, you can't just wake up. And I get this a lot, that you wake up in the morning, and it happens even to the best of us. You have a Facebook page. You know that you need to keep this page active, but you wake up one day, you completely don't have anything in your mind to post. So you start thinking, and sometimes it will take you hours. It will consume your entire morning. Try to come up with something to post, something engaging for people. So to be able to deal with this kind of challenge, plan way in advance. For me, what I do for my clients, I prepare a 1-month strategy in advance, plus a content calendar. A content calendar constitutes of the content, the real content itself, that will go on the platforms, to the platforms. So for an entire month, we are sorted. It is very clear what we are doing week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and week 4. And we have content scheduled all through the entire month. So to come back to the question is that you need to actually have a content strategy to work for you, social media, because it is through content that you have a conversation with your audience. When you post, posting is actually a way of having conversations. So if you don't have content, then you can't have conversation. And remember, this conversation needs to be rich. So it is valuable, it is relevant, your audience is able to connect with this particular content. It's entertaining, it's educational. Those are the things to look at. So that is one thing, one way of ensuring that you are moving these people from big followers to who? To paying customers. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Mwaniki. And in fact, I think I can also add to what you've just said. I did not understand why my daughter was insisting on putting things that are not business related. Then she told me that customers also need something that to be happy about, entertainment. You just mentioned entertainment. And the moment she started putting interesting things like a funny picture that would connect with our audience, say it is something that happened maybe in the 60s. And then you can remember there's this time when we used to have the old phones where even people used to dial. You remember? I don't know whether you are born that time. Right. And then she would also come up with something different. And after that, I started seeing very many people connecting with us. And because of that, then of course, every time, there are people who will go to our page, they will comment, and others will all you keep on seeing, they will like maybe something she has posted. And our digital marketing team is actually doing a lot of research to get some very interesting photos or pictures or something that will make them feel that, of course, take them back to those old days. So I really, really agree with what you are saying, because it's not just about business, but it's also connecting with customers and making them get excited. Even you cannot even find that there are those, say, that old music, which used to be very funny. And you see these people connecting very well. And that is very, very interesting. And thank you for that highlight.
I like what you're saying. Let me just add something. Yes. You know, nobody comes to social media so that you can sell to them. The primary reason people actually come to social media, or they in the first place join social media, is for entertainment. People love to be entertained. And that is why sometimes selling on social media can be very challenging, especially if you don't have a good strategy. And for instance, advertising strategy. That's why you find, and I know you have boosted posts before or paid for advertising Facebook. You find that when you perhaps create copy or content for your advertisement on Facebook, and it is clearly talking about you trying to sell something to people, the ad does not perform better in comparison to if you approach to even the kind of content that you create is not salesy. You're not trying to shove down some products and services on people's throat. You're inviting them for a conversation. In fact, you're so concerned about you adding value to them that all the activities on that platform is about value addition. And if you add value to people will return that favor. But if you're all about, I want you to buy, people run away from you.
That is very well said. Nobody wants to be sold to. But tell me about the value of something and I'll come running for it. And you see after it, and it is not even the amount of money that people will spend, because at times people say that, you see, this product is so expensive, so nobody will buy. So of course, also segmenting your market is also very important, but you may find that you can even convert a customer who may listen to what you say about your product, and when they see value, they go for it. But don't go out even on social media to sell a product. First, you have to do it. You have to make people understand why that product is very important and what value it's going to add to their lives. Now, thank you. You are moving on very well, Mwaniki. So I would like now to ask you another question. Now, how do you determine the best social media platform to effectively market yourself and convert fans to customers?
Good question, I must say. It is becoming, nowadays it is becoming almost obvious on the platform that certain brands need to go for when it comes to engaging their target audience. Like for instance, if I am a makeup artist, you know, I do those makeup and nails and all those kind of things. The nature of my brand or the nature of my solution is actually, it's very visual. These are things that people need to see. I mean, for me to buy, I need to see that there is this lady, the before and after. So I need to see that transformation. And which better platform to offer that kind of capability than Instagram, for instance? So then it means a makeup artist, it beats all logic if you don't set up your brand on a platform like Instagram, because it is highly visual. Or have a YouTube channel whereby now you're maybe taking people through how you do your makeup thing. And then if maybe you are a platform that generates news, you might want to look at a platform like Twitter, because Twitter is fast-paced and it's fast-moving, and people are constantly updating things. And you find that most people on Twitter are actually keen on consuming what is new, what is trendy, what is current. So then that is a platform that you need to set up your brand on in order to be able to engage that particular audience. So it's almost becoming obvious. If your brand is professional through and through, and if you're looking to engage professionals, in fact, if you're looking to build a personal brand,
Yes.
then LinkedIn is your platform. LinkedIn works very well for personal brands. Then you need to focus on that particular platform. So really, it depends with, number one, even the business owner, understanding your own business. And what I always say, because some people always say they have a challenge in identifying their audience, all right? So the audience that you have in your offline audience, just translate them to the online platform. If your offline audience is the young people, then, I mean, it is obvious. Then Instagram becomes the platform that you need to, Instagram, Facebook, that you need to interact with them. Yeah, so those are some of the things to look at when you are now determining which platform to actually focus on. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to ask another question. Now,
Yes.
looking at this particular time that now we are going through COVID and everybody is scared about COVID, what would you advise people to do? Would you advise them to go to social media and market themselves properly and look for professional social media consultants? Or would you just tell them to continue doing business in the conventional way?
If you continue doing business in the conventional way, you'll be wiped out of business. That is a fact. So, in fact, right now, with this social distancing and remote working and the new normal, companies need, I mean, businesses need to sit down, the brand owners, the marketers, and even the top executives. They need now to look at, in fact, craft a holistic digital transformation strategy. So it's not just about social media, but entirely digital transformation, because a lot of these things have moved to the digital space. Like, let me give an example. Actually, we're using Zoom right now. Let me give an example of Zoom. I understand that I think 1 year ago, they only had, is it 7 million subscribers on their platform? And right now, they are at 400 million plus.
Wow.
In a span of 1 year. Wow. I mean, what percentage of growth is that? Like from 7 million to 400 million. It just tells you that there's the preference of engaging the way we are engaging right now. We are having a meeting, you're having a conversation that of course will be beneficial to your audience and to my audience as well. So right now is the time to go very aggressive on the digital platform, to market on social media and other digital platforms available out there. Because again, this platform gives you access to the global market. Like, I know, Sarah, you grew from those days, from your days. How was marketing done? How was marketing done then?
Very analog.
Very analog. Yes. Like, people used to use Niposta. So you put things and then send them, and then they take days. And then came emails where instantly I'm able to send a newsletter, an email blast, and I have guys in the UK, Australia, US, and they receive it in a snap of a finger. On social media, in fact, on social media, if say I'm doing an ad on social media, I can be able to select my audience. It's called geo-targeting, whereby I'm looking at, if I want guys in the US, I'll be able to select guys in the US alone. That is the power of social media. And then the other beauty of social media marketing is that this is trackable. So I am able to know that this post that I did or this content that I put out has been seen by this number of people. This number of people have been able to engage it. I'm able to check my analytics And I'm sure your social media guys, you ask for analytics at the end of the month.
Yes.
How many followers did we get? How many people did they interact with this our content? Who sent an inbox message? Did we have any conversions? So the beauty of social media is that it is trackable. You're able to track the performance. So even when I'm investing in social media advertising, I am so confident that I have reached 16,000 people, for instance. Of the 16,000 people, I converted how many? 1,000 of them. So that is the beauty of using this platform. So my encouragement is that businesses right now, and you mentioned something about using professionals. I think we are also at a point where it is easy to imagine or think that social media is just about waking up in the morning and posting and all that. There's so much that goes into social media. That's why we actually design social media strategies, because you need to engage an expert. An expert is able to sit down with you. They ask, what is your business strategy? Then what is your marketing strategy? Where do you plan to go, or how many clients or customers do you plan to close in the next 2 or 3 months? And then now aligning the social media strategy to maybe other strategies. It could be other marketing strategy, PR, and whatever that you're doing, so that it becomes part of the bigger picture to be able to drive the success of your organization. So yes, please use professionals like me.
Thank you. No wonder I picked you, because you know, I can be. I love good work. I love results. I love excellence, and that is why I picked you, Moniki. And I'm very proud to work with you. And I know you get all our brands to the next level. And so I really, really appreciate you. Now, as we come to the conclusion of our topic this day, I would like you to tell us. Maybe you say one last thing. Your concluding remarks.
Okay. What I'm going to say is that, number one, social media works. Social media can raise your brand from down there, and it puts you up on the pedestal and in the limelight for the world to see. And Sarah, you can attest to this, that it actually works. But anything that works also need work. So you must be willing to put in the work. You must actually be willing to put in the work. Don't expect instant results. Building a brand, any brand, takes time. So I find this when I engage with people out there, where there is that rush, or people quickly want to get the results. So perhaps you are doing so, you engage with them for a period of 1 month, and then at the end of the 1 month they demand results, and maybe yet you I'll be very honest that for you to begin realizing tangible results from social media, we are talking 4 months plus, but you have to be doing it consistently. There's something called algorithm. So an algorithm is able it's basically artificial intelligence. It's able to gather, it's able to monitor your activities and engagement on social media. And so if you're more active, for instance, on LinkedIn, if you're more active, you're constantly posting, you're engaging people, you're responding, you're sharing content, you're sharing value, then it favors you. You become more visible, you become more available for connection. And so I really insist on consistency. Be very consistent. And then number 3, work with a plan. Work with a plan. Let the plan be aligned to your overall business goal. Let your plan be aligned to your marketing plan, all right? So that at the end of the day, every time you wake up in the morning, or the person you have hired and they're doing your social media, it is so clear what goal you are working towards. So it's not just posting, and I can even scream on this point. It's just not about, it has to be strategic, it has to have meaning. I mean, to the level that you can say, this week we are pursuing this theme, and this is the results we want out of this conversation. It is so clear. In a month, you're going to run 3 ads on Facebook. And each ad is one ad will will help us to get more subscribers. The other one will help us push products. The other one will just be about visibility. It needs to be clear that way. It is work, but at the end of the day, you will enjoy the results when social media starts working. Yes.
And I agree with you 100% because, like, as I have said earlier, one of our businesses, of course, the Summer Enterprises company, what my team has been doing is that they have been very, very, very consistent, and we have seen good results. And even some of the big companies are coming to us and placing orders on doors, on frames, and things that are, of course, customized. And like what we were doing before, without social media, we didn't used to have such kind of customers. So what we have realized is that now we are elevating our business from now where it was to another level just because of social media. When they look for either wood, or they look for flooring cover, or they look for doors, some enterprises is popping up, and they're getting more inquiries. So which is something so good, and others are actually converting. So I sincerely would like to recommend anybody who is listening to us that social media is worth emulating, is worth taking, and of course applying in my business if you want to grow your business or if you want to go to another level. So at this juncture, Mwaniki, I would like to say thank you very much for coming on board and sharing with us the importance of social media today. God bless you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.